I think the biggest risk is if we don't get enough eyeballs. Like who over 50 doesn't want to look younger? It's not just a vanity Miami Beach kind of thing, you know? Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Kevin. Take a wild guess where I am.
Oh, geez. Where are you headed?
The airport?
I'm in Orlando. Let me go over here where it's less noisy.
Oh, you're in Orlando or heading to?
Heading to Denver, I know.
Oh, heading to Denver. Okay.
I'm happy to 20-degree weather.
That's where my company's based out of, Denver. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you say Fort Collins? No.
I'm sorry?
Where in Denver?
Downtown.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
I lived in North Boulder for a few years.
Don't mind us, we're on cocktail time.
Sorry
Been a
about
long
that.
day.
Oh, no, I hear you. Okay.
Taking some time. I know, hopefully we kill a little bit of time before what time's your flight supposed to take off?
It leaves in 25 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Geez,
All right,
okay.
we'll be quick.
Yeah.
We can certainly discuss more things at whatever level that you like. I wanted to give you the no sugar-coated view of what's going on here.
Okay.
The contract, this services agreement seems to be missing something, because this is just the T's and C's. This is just the legalese, but it doesn't actually say what's going to be done.
Well, we told them at the beginning we'd spend a little more money. Like they know, like we can't afford to do. Listen, the reason why they did this is because they spoke to Emmanuel at the beginning and realized that none of this was done. So they kind of started from scratch. We tried to get him. We're going back a really long time, Dennis. And we tried to get engaged with him because the best thing for us would have been for corporate, you know what I mean, to get engaged in this at this level, but it didn't exist and it didn't happen. So they were kind of saying, listen, we can do your posts and stuff, but we need a strategy behind it. And that's where all of this came from.
Right.
But all of not what they're doing for us, because we don't have the budget for that. But they've got, like you were mentioning today, all the things you talked about is all the things that they do. And hopefully with whatever on, we'll get a little relief and then have them able to do the other things, if that makes sense.
So when I see documents like this screams to me, a big company. Like this is the kind, I can show you what we've done for Starbucks, Nike, Red Bull, Microsoft, guys like that. And they wouldn't even blink. In fact, they want to see these beautiful sorts of diagrams, documents, but you guys have one location. Mm-hmm. You're a small business owner. Yes, we want to grow. We have these big dreams and all this, but this kind of stuff like this, 2x2 McKinsey grid, the BCG growth grid, like that doesn't, we're not competing against other Ivy folks. It's a blue ocean. So even though like all this positioning, like who's the ideal customer and whatever, you do not need to pay $7,500 a month for strategy consulting. You're not hiring a McKinsey. That's not what you need sales, right? Mm-hmm. You need trackability. You need ad campaigns that we can track to how many phone calls we're getting and how many patients we're getting and the revenue of that. So that's great that these guys create these beautiful PowerPoints, and maybe they can create collateral materials that you need, like trifold brochures and stuff like that. That's great. But I don't see where you need any of these things here. And like OTT, whenever I see that, I was just telling Kevin a minute ago, or running these like influencer campaigns or setting up an Airstream trailer, like that's when you have plenty of money, right? Mm-hmm. Raised a Series A and you have 10 locations all in Princeton or whatever, then, I wouldn't even do that if we had that. I still wouldn't do that. It doesn't make any sense. So I think the only thing that you need right now is let's run Facebook ads and some Google ads. Facebook and Google are the Coke and Pepsi of this space. They're 70% of all digital. Yeah. TikTok's growing, of course, but let's just get the basics in place. Facebook ads, Google ads. We already have ads that are working for our corporate locations. We'll just copy them for you. Of course, make, minor adjustments on exactly what we want to offer. And we can just be, us as corporate can just be your agency for the next few weeks while we find another agency that is more scrappy and is more measurable, more performance oriented. This is like high level strategy. You guys are just getting going. You don't need any of this.
Yeah. We're not all they're doing right now is the Facebook and Instagram for us.
But that's not doing anything. That's just posting and it gets no traction.
Well, I do believe don't they have the metrics behind it? I don't know. I'll have you talk to them.
Okay.
I mean, we trust them, honestly.
It's not about trust. It's about, analytics, right?
And
People are super smart. These guys, they're great brand strategists, but the reason you buy into a franchise is that there already is a brand strategy, right? We're not hiring someone to come up with a marketing strategy, right?
Wasn't one, Dennis.
there wasn't, Dennis.
Well, should have talked to me, but none of us, like Sam didn't know, I didn't know. Like when Emmanuel left, and this is the only time I'll pin the tail on the donkey.
Yeah.
We didn't know that all of these other people were not getting, like, I won't go into all the different specifics, but it's our fault. But we were told everything was just fine. And only now when we're starting the community, we realized how many things didn't happen. My heart is breaking when I hear that. You guys are small business owners. You can't just blow 30K.
We did just blow 30. We did. And now something happened and I don't know. And I'm just going to throw it out there because I'm very intuitive. I'm a little witchy. When all this went down with Emmanuel leaving, my shit got locked up.
Facebook.
My Facebook, I got locked out of my Facebook and I can't get back in. I've got the TFA's people trying to get me back in. And I think there's no way this is all coincidence that on the same day, all this stuff happened. My stuff blew up. It knows who I am. It wasn't a hack, so to speak. But now when I need to be on there posting up coming soon, like we are literally, Dennis, we are the coming soon people. We are 2 weeks away.
No, you mentioned that earlier this morning. This is not the time to have this sort of nonsense happen.
Right.
So to your intuition, I'm not, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'll just say this, like there were things that Emmanuel was supposed to do. And he did some things like intentionally cancel stuff that we had just purely out of spite.
Yeah.
Just cause, like, it's like one of those, like, throw a grenade and walk away sort of moments.
And I feel like that's what happened with all of our content, because that page was supposed to go up. And then all of a sudden, the page goes up for a second and then all my things are shut down. Thankfully, like I said, TFA, they have some brilliant people. They're not charging me for it. So they can get in right now into my personal account. But when I go to authenticate.
No, but it's got to be through business man. Everything's got to be through business manager. The minute you have it tied to your personal account, you can't run as a group anymore.
That's how they set it up.
That's anyone who's done Facebook knows that doesn't make any sense at all. All right. I'm sending a note to a couple of our people. What's the best email? Who should I put?
Oh, either one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ryan's aware of it. I think Daniel, who works for you, he's aware of it. So our agency on their side, they can get in now, but I still can't get in. So they can get in. They changed my password. So it's just something on my side. I don't know. My devices work.
I see. Okay. I thought we got kicked out too somehow. Okay.
But I don't know if you got kicked out or not. My agency's back in. I don't know if you get back in. I can't get back in.
Okay.
But go and so here. All right. So I don't know. This is way out of my scope of knowledge, but the woman who was working on it, who's the technical person, could put in my name and say, send an SMS. I would get an SMS. But when I try to log in for the two-step authentication, I will try to log in, do the same exact thing that she's doing as me, and it won't work.
Okay. Well, there's a few things. We know how to troubleshoot this, but basically we can turn two-factor off just for a minute to let you get back in and then turn it back on. Okay. And then add you into Business Manager, make you an admin in Business Manager, which will initially kick you out, but then you're added back in through Business Manager. All access, I don't want to get too technical, but all access, whether it's to Facebook, TikTok, or Google, has to be controlled through something called the Business Manager. And Google is called an MCC and TikTok is called the Business Center, but it's called a Business Manager because it allows us to manage the different assets we have, different pages, different ad accounts. We don't have any apps here, but that's what's in there as well. And then to allocate that to different people. So when we control that centrally as corporate, then we allocate access to you as ownership for your page, but not for ownership of the central Liquivida brand. And then we allocate access to the other agencies. Yeah. So we should be managing that. And last week, I want to say we're like 90% of the way there, because when this whole thing just got dumped onto me, like we were working with Sam on his personal brand and then on central marketing, but not for the franchisees. We were doing nothing for the franchisees. So this is like just us coming in. We had everything set up for the overall brand, but in the last week, we've had to clean up these pieces that weren't done right.
Yeah.
So we should
Yeah.
have that done in the next couple of days. We're locking everything down, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've seen the page go down and the page go back up. But it, unfortunately for us, it's the worst timing because
you're 2 weeks out. I know.
I'm trying to launch specials and I can actually be taking sales and booking over the phone before doors get open. So it's, really frustrating, but we're very happy to hear all of the things. I think all the owners needed to hear what you said today. And in terms of meeting with our agency, I think they'll be thrilled to hear the things you're doing because they've been frustrated with the things that should be done on a corporate level that hadn't been done. So, I think it should be a good call, Dennis.
Good. But I don't think you should be paying $7,500 a month, even though you're in a tight situation and you're launching. It doesn't make sense to pay that for strategy, even though before you needed some of these things that we didn't give you. I just feel bad. Anytime people are spending money, I treat it like it's my money.
Sure.
But just because things are urgent, just because you're 2 weeks away, doesn't mean we should waste money either.
Right.
So we want to turn on those Facebook ads with different specials. We know which ones work. Daniel rescued Christine's stuff yesterday, which is you probably already heard about everything that happened there.
Just so you know how I feel about a lot of the marketing that's been done, that we're in Princeton. our store's in Princeton, New Jersey, very academic, very pharmaceutical company, not South Florida thong. So
my aunt's in Princeton. I visit her over the summers.
Oh, you're kidding.
Really?
Well, you need to send her to us.
Yes.
So a lot of that marketing absolutely makes us cringe here because it doesn't work here. So that's why we also need our own, location sensitive, I'm not a prude, but I imagine, some of our academia community, great community. Very culturally diverse. We have a huge Indian population, Asian population. We're almost minorities here, to be honest with you. So, and I think we need to be sensitive with those kind of ads too. They're just not, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of them I cringe only on behalf of who our future customer will be and the brand that we want to present.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. That's like running Mexican ads in Idaho. That wouldn't make any sense. Yeah.
No, without
no,
doubt.
and that's what it kind of feels like to us. So that's why we really needed, somebody looking out for what we need locally.
Yeah.
We've done this for Ashley Furniture, which has got locations all over. They're the world's largest furniture retailer. And we were running ads. We were doing some testing in Alabama where they have 10 locations. And one of our people messed up. These things happen. In agencies, you have people that mess up, right? It happens. And we accidentally ran the same ads in Seattle and in Amherst, Massachusetts, which is also an academic town, much like Princeton. And one of our managers caught that. And this is before the Liquivida. This is a few years ago. And the funny thing was those ads actually worked. We had ads that were like some Southern guy saying, on Sunday we watch football and we have this go around and we all gather around the TV to watch Alabama football, which is perfect for Alabama because it's all about football, right? And we were running that in Seattle and Amherst, Massachusetts with guy with this big Alabama drawl. It actually converted and we kept the ad running. And the corporate team got mad at us because they said it was off brand and all that kind of stuff. We're running a test for a bunch of the franchisees. And we were able to convince corporate to let it run because the franchisees were like, no, we're not going to take it down. If it's driving sales, if it's driving people in, I'm not saying do the same thing, but the whole thing with the franchise is you'd be surprised when there are wealthy people that care about their health or whatnot. It's not like South Beach, you're on the beach and this woman's getting Botox. It's not that vanity kind of, Miami Beach sort of Ferrari lifestyle thing, which I understand is completely different than the PhD academic, blue blood kind of, understated conservative wealthy kind of thing. But you'd be surprised how much the core messages will often work. So we'll help tune some of these creatives for you, but I wouldn't be super worried.
So the other thing too, I would wanted to stress today, but at the time of the call just didn't warrant it. I think our biggest risk, but also biggest opportunity, Dennis, in the Northeast is education. This functional medicine is well known in Florida. It's well known in California. It is not well known in the Northeast. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's not. So that's why I say it's our biggest risk, because we have to educate the populace to understand the benefits of what we do, but it also creates the biggest opportunity because it's untouched.
Well, these are popping up everywhere. I mean, obviously it all started in Beverly Hills and LA, then it moved to South Florida, then it's expanded. But there's location, like I interviewed Jim Donnelly, who's got Restore. He's opening a location every 2 days.
Yeah, there's one down. I'm so pissed.
And it's working. I talked to him 2 weeks ago, and he basically says a franchise is like a virus where you have this, like if the virus finds itself in the same ingredients, it will replicate. That's the whole point, right? I'm not saying this like the Chick-fil-A or whoever used that analogy, but we'll test it, right? But I think that, like you said, the education, the lack of awareness, but also the lack of competition works in our favor. In South Florida, like they're on Las Olas Avenue, there's like this 1 mile block, there's like 5 IV places, and they're all thriving.
Right.
So I think it'll be great. I have friends who are tenured professors, and they don't want to look old, right? They want to be younger. They've read Tony Robbins' book on life force. Like, I think this is a general trend. It's not just a LA, San Diego, Miami kind of thing.
No,
everyone we talk is ready to be patients and come on board and are so excited. So
we talk about aging, we talk about glutathione, talk about, hormone replacement therapy. All of these things I think are not regionally specific. And I think that the academics are going to be more in tune to the idea that you can measure what's going on with your health. So maybe we have a range of creatives that address, because some people are about, I want to do what the celebrities are doing. Some people want to do it because they research the thing. Some people, like, everyone has different ways of how they make decisions.
Yep.
Certain ones are going to work better in Princeton, but I think it'll just generally work.
Yeah. And just to throw a couple things out there in terms of our network, Dennis, just so you have it in the brains of that funny agent, just giving you some background here. And I've known Jared since he was a kid, but his wife manages nonprofit for Lin-Manuel Miranda. So she runs a nonprofit, and he does all the marketing for Hamilton. Just all I'm saying is I've been trying in my own way to figure out how to get Questlove down to do a free whatever, and I'll give him IVs for life. I don't know. But these are my sister's in Los Angeles and is a talent manager. So, these are my brain that I've been trying to figure out how to tap into without a cost to us.
List those out. Obviously, leverage any advantage and connections that you have.
Yeah.
So,
especially local, right? I mean, that's cool. Questlove or these other people, but that's not necessarily local.
but Questlove is from Philly.
He's a Philly boy,
And we're really
Okay.
close to Philly. So,
Okay.
And then just also across the street from the Princeton Junction train station, if you're familiar, which is the commuter rail into New York City. So stand on that platform, because we heard people take the train into the city for IVs.
Excellent. And then we're going to target all the fans of competitors too. It'll be a lot of fun. We're going to buy their name, which may piss them off, but that's what it is. They buy our name, so why not?
And we do have a young woman on staff who is an influencer. I mean, she's over 35,000 followers. So I have to figure out how to tell her to clean up her stuff, and take advantage of that. And then my daughter.
Just tell your daughter to get on TikTok, and we will boost those posts.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing on TikTok. Look, I have 1 million followers on Facebook, and I'm not even an influencer.
Yeah.
I have blue check marks on all the different networks except Instagram, but I'm not an influencer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people it's not the number of followers, it's how relevant their story is to Liquivida.
Yeah. Right.
it's true.
Yeah.
I know this one girl, she has 6.5 million followers on Instagram, and she's driving Uber because she's broke. So her followers don't translate into anything.
Well, true for the girl who's working for us, because she's working for us.
But we can make her an influencer. We can boost her posts. We can get lots of views to her stuff, but then it's got to drive people in the door.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And then we have the other young girl model, and like Sam's friends with a lot of these sorts of people, right? That's kind of what, Miami Beach and all that is. So we can show you examples of videos that they've made. And then this girl you have working for you, and then your daughter can basically make versions of those videos as inspiration.
Yeah, I'm going to give you her name so you can take a look.
Just a quick question for you, Dan. Are you coming on? You and your team coming on board to Liquivida, or are you just consulting?
We are bringing all of our people eventually full time into Liquivida, and because I told Sam, agency thing's killing you. All the other. Look, I know the CEOs of Revive, Restore, Forever Young, like it's a small group, and all of them have built an in-house team. They never let an agency run franchise operations. So these people that you're seeing are in the process of moving to full-time Liquivida.
Okay.
Me,
Awesome.
I'm the hypocrite. I'm the only one who's not, because I retired 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm doing this as a friend of Sam's.
I mean, we're psyched. It's kind of breathing a fresh breath of air 10 times over to hear what you had to say today. Just because, I mean, we're not even open doors yet, and we saw the writing on the wall that it was going to be brutal.
Hill climb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel the stress and the pressure. So I'm right there with you.
Awesome.
Hey, listen, it's only up from here, pal.
I don't want to be a manual number 2.
Yeah.
No.
But no, we've taken the time, look over that. We do like the TFA team. That I think they truly mean well by our, on our behalf, but we're, it's still a business that we have to run. So we can't afford to sink a ton more money on a monthly basis into helping us grow.
You've already given them 30 grand, right? That's money that's gone.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you want to hire these guys to do whatever because you like them, that's cool. But I would just put it this way. Whatever you have them doing, make sure it's accountable. As in, we can track it directly to patients that are coming in HubSpot. And if you need any help doing that, we'll help you. I don't think maybe before you needed help with the strategy and like whatever it is, but I don't see going forward where they add any clear value unless they can bring in relationships or they're good at running ads in a certain way, or like it just at this point, 2 weeks away, everything is about conversion. We don't have time for this general branding stuff. You know what I mean? That's all later.
We're past that. I mean, we got that a year ago. I mean, so it was a long time ago. And that's what you're saying is almost like it's coming out of Jared's mouth in terms of we need to convert sales. We need to convert sales.
Super smart, but if it's not dry, that's great. You guys can make all these posts on social media, but I think that does nothing unless we run ads against it. The only thing that matters in this next month here is Google and Facebook ads.
Yep.
Then someone's got to be answering the phone. Someone's got to be able to close these people. We talked earlier about, the training where people come in and they ask about Botox. They ask about, testosterone. You've got to be able to be knowledgeable to talk about that. The wellness coordinator there has to be amazing. Like Dion is like the one that they all want to be like, right?
Yeah. Wait till you meet her. She is amazing. And she's a practitioner. So It was like, that was a decision everyone kind of poo-pooed us on, that we hired a practitioner for that wellness coordinator. But guess what? We don't need somebody else to write the script. And
she carries more cred. But then again, if they're doing 2 jobs, they do both of them terribly, right? Because
no, she's not doing 2. She's only the wellness coordinator.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Because the wellness coordinator is really just high-end sales.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. One other thing. You said Google ads.
Yes.
The Google site I have brought to the attention of Liquivida like at least 10 times that my personal number is on. When you do a Google search, my cell phone number is on there. I've been
that's no good.
November asking them to take care of it. Nobody's taking care of it, and I don't know how to do it.
Did you send that to any of our people to look at?
Yeah. Oh, your people? No.
Not yet.
Okay. Give us a chance.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, so your Google ads, we want to tie properly with your GMB and tie with like all of that. That's what we call digital plumbing. This whole setup has to be done properly.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, it's funny because all of a sudden I saw a number come up and it said Princeton, New Jersey. And I can't answer my phone Liquivida because my CEO and COO don't know that I have a Liquivida.
Right. Okay.
Be really careful how I'm answering the phone. So I just said, this is Rebecca Kelly. And it was somebody that got the number.
Practitioner.
She wanted a job. It was, but anyway, and I've been asking.
That's irritating. Okay.
One last question. There you got to jump for your flight. When you talk about Google ads and Facebook ads, what should we expect to pay for paid advertising through the agency? I'm just asking.
Performance varies, of course, but generally it depends on what the kind of clicks that you buy. But generally, it should be anywhere from $3 to $6 a click. Your cost per call should be $25 to $30. Of those, 50% should turn into appointments. So your cost per appointment should be, that's the final call. Your cost per booked appointment should be under $60, and your cost per new customer should be under $120. That's going to be true on both Google and Facebook. It'll be true on Google if we're running display. So it's called GDN, Google Display Network, which includes YouTube.
Okay.
So YouTube works super well, but of course, to run ads on YouTube, you have to have a different format than what you run on Facebook or just regular search ads. When people think Google ads, they think search ads. Search is like 15% of Google. You have to cover all the other aspects of Google. Google last year released this thing called Performance Max, which means we're uploading a variety of different creatives, videos and images and text and all these different location extensions, review extensions, all of these other things they give more information. You stick into a single campaign, and thus Google will optimize everything. It's very smart. The performance is generally 30 to 40% better than what we saw a year ago. However, it does take more time to learn. So we might, it's kind of frustrating because we have to load up the campaigns and then wait 3 or 4 weeks as the system starts to learn. If we have the right, now we know what creatives are working because we have all the other locations. So we should probably load those up now.
Okay.
If it's not being done, or if the funny agency's doing it, great, right? But the Google campaigns are critical because it protects our brand name, and it also has the most low-hanging fruit when people type in IV therapy, Botox, whatever. Like, we just have to be there in those keywords.
Yeah, and we get revived down the street.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the beauty is with these different research tools, we know exactly what keywords they're running, how much they're spending, and all that. Cool.
Awesome.
We're going to close this door. All right.
Yeah, you better get on your plane, Dennis.
Thanks, Kevin, Rebecca.